Hello, this is Dennis Sietsma, Dennis John Sietsma Productions, Homestead, Florida, USA. It's August 15th, 2024. It's around 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's a Thursday. That said, video diary, video log, 1994 Astro van that I've owned since new. Today I'm going to install the timing cover first. Then after that, I'm not sure. I'd like to move on to the valve covers, but I'm waiting for those to arrive from Rock Auto. I ordered those yesterday, and I went out last night and I got some quarter by 20 by half-inch hex bolts flanged for the timing chain cover. I got half-inch because they didn't have 3/4, and 1-inch was way too long. I said 1-inch in the prior day, but correction to self, it's 1-inch is way too long. So I ordered some 3/4 inch online, and I'm going to change the format again as far as slideshow after every daily video. I can't do that. It's just too much work. And I'm going to do a slideshow for everything, and then put that up, and it'll have all kinds of photographs in it, and technical information, and a slideshow. And I'll do that as a separate video because it's just too much work for me to try. I don't have the resources that these other YouTubers have for you know, video productions and stuff. So I'm working with limited time. And time is something that you can't buy or sell. You can only try to manage. And you know, I tell that to the kids that I mentored in Miami-Dade County, Florida, public schools, Southeast Florida, is learn time management, learn financial management. And of course they yawn, and I'm like, well, you want to get a good education so you can generate and manage your own wealth. And they said, I'm going to have wealth? And I said, yeah, and the less you have, the better you have to be at managing it. Everybody has some degree of wealth. And then all of a sudden they start paying attention that it's for their benefit to try to learn as much as they can and apply it to their lives, because, you know, skills are important. I always tried to find people that could help me. Fortunately, I knew a lot of engineers that were friends with my dad that always helped me and told me how they got into engineering and what they did and how much travel is involved. Boy, they like to fly engineers around. They like to make them managers. They don't like them to sit still too much once they find an engineer that can do what they want done. Anyway, enough blather about that. I'm going to move on, people. Hopefully talk less today and show you too much talk, not enough action. And but, you know, it's beautiful outside in Southeast Florida right now, 80 degrees. Going to be real hot today, probably thunderstorms in the afternoon. So, I'll be working between the raindrops and see how much I can get done today. Yesterday I wasted a lot of time. And I did order the 3/4 inch. I ordered those online from Amazon. And Amazon's my go-to for a lot of stuff, because I just can't find it anywhere else online. Or even in the stores, unless I go to a specialty place like Mitchell Supply up near the falls in South Miami. They sell nuts and bolts. They're a great place. A lot of people in Southeast Florida don't know about Mitchell Supply, but man, they got a lot of stuff there. And you walk in and you tell the guy what you want, and he hands it back to you, and you pay him, and you're happy. But the traffic to get there to the falls area off US 1 in Southeast Miami, they used to call it Sunnyland, and now they call it Pinecrest. hoity-toity Pinecrest. They keep changing the names of everything in Florida, so especially Southeast Florida. Every day they change the name for something. Now it's Miami everything. It used to be Homestead or Florida City or Leisure City or Sunnyland or Dadeland, and now everything is Miami something. Very confusing for visitors. Somebody should tell marketing to knock it off. Okay, it's now 9:45 on the 15th of August 2024, and I show you my mistakes on these videos, and I made a big one. When I went to install the time and chain cover, I found I couldn't install it without removing the oil pan, so I removed the oil pan again. So now I have an opportunity to replace that General Motors oil pump intermediate shaft coupler, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave the GM one in there, even though the Felpro looks thicker. Nylon looks better. But anyway, now that I got the oil pan back off again, and it slipped right off. I didn't have to lift it off the motor mounts or anything. I had plenty of room. So note to self, don't be afraid of a leaking oil pan or leaking time and chain cover too much, because well, the oil pan you can get to all the time. The time and chain cover would require some digging. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on. I wanted to put it on tacky, but I'm not going to be able to do that because it took me too long to get the oil pan back off. Anyway, I make mistakes, and I notice a few people posting comments. Thank you. Appreciate comments and on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to change the format. I'm going to do the technical and photographs and all that as a separate slideshow, a separate video in the future. I'm not going to try to put it at the end of the videos anymore, because it just doesn't work. It takes too much time. And again, thanks for watching. Okay, it's 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I got the time and chain on the 15th of August, and got the tiny little mosquitoes out this morning, and luckily a little breeze is picking up. Anyway, the instructions say put all the bolts in and tighten them up finger tight, let it sit for an hour, and then torque it down to spec. The spec on these 4-20 bolts is very low, so many inch-pounds, so I got to look up the spec, but I don't think it's much. Anyway, I should have done this first, this time and chain cover first, and then the oil pan, and then the starter ring. I should have worked from front to back, and then done the transmission mounted up to the, and the engine mounts, probably should have done that before I did anything else. So I got the sequence messed up here a little bit, people. Post comments how you do it, but thanks for watching, and I'm going to take a little break because I've been at this for over an hour now, and it's hot and steamy and may rain today. And then I'll start putting the oil pan back on again, and I'm deliberating about whether to leave that intermediate shaft coupler, the one from GM, or go with the Felpro one, but that would be more work, and I really want to get moving forward on this. I've been stalled several days, so from August 5th or August 7th, I can't remember which, to the 14th, I didn't put any. I shot video, but I didn't put it online because I didn't want to burn out my audience until this is all done and running, and then the core back, and I want it to be a success story before we get into all the little picky things. But these videos are helpful to me, and I hope they're helpful to the audience, and thanks for watching. Okay people, I took a 15-minute break, so I'm going to start working on the oil pan. Pretty happy with the time and chain cover. Not perfect, not the best work I've ever done, but it won't leak and it will work. I put the damp harmonic balancer on and the pulleys, but I want to get the oil pan back on before it starts raining. Beware of the pickup. Make sure it fits into the slot on the oil pan. And as you saw in my prior videos, I fought and fought with getting the oil pan on when the engine was on the lift, but now that it's bolted in, I had no trouble slipping it in and out, even with the starter ring installed. So note to self that I didn't think it was a problem in the past, and it wasn't a problem. And I found a lot of my bolts that I was missing. I had them set aside here somewhere and didn't notice until I was done. But you can always use extra bolts, right, that are the right thread and length and all that. So I'm not sad about that, but I hope to do the oil pan and then start moving on to the intake today. And I love the comments, but I have very crude facilities here. I don't have a garage or a shop. All I have is a shed, a tool shed. My house doesn't have a garage because when I built the house, the garage, I thought I'd have more, I thought I'd be able to build a bigger house on the center of the property later and use the small house without a garage as a garage, but it never happened, so, and never will. Too old now to even think about that. But I don't have a parts washer, I don't have all these things. That would be nice, but I used to have access to all those things when my father was alive, but he's gone now, so I'm working in the dirt and doing the best I can to do good work. Thanks for watching. Hello audience, it's around 2:30 in the afternoon, August 15th, 2024. This is Dennis Seatsma, Homestead, Florida, USA, Dennis John Seatsma Productions. You're looking at the old engine out of the original engine from 1994, out of my 1994 Astro van. I've asked for extra time from Powertrain Products for the core return, and I need to start reassembling this engine because they want it reassembled for some reason. Anyway, good thing I didn't jump online to get a socket for the seal install kit was, I don't know, it's like $65 online. I don't know why it's so expensive for a seal install kit, but you can use a socket, and I just happen to have an 1 5/8" socket. I don't know why I have it or why I bought it, but I found it today, and that would be perfect for installing that seal. So I don't need to buy a seal install kit for this engine, and I'll start putting the pistons back in it. And it might rain, don't know if it will or not, but it's threatening to. But anyway, I want to crawl into the van and show you a couple of things if I can. It's kind of interesting. Number one, I told you about the problem with the oil shaft retainer, and I told you that let's see if I get this on camera. This stud is really important. I don't know the part number, but this is the one that Powertrain Products had on it, and it's used to align the rear of the oil pan when you install it. And I found out the hard way. You start at the back and go forward. This one's a little too long, and I'll have a photograph of the one that works well. But anyway, I will send this back with the core because I don't need those things. They're too long for my application. So I talked about that in a prior video, but crawling underneath the van and trying to keep things on camera, it's really ingenious what the engineers did, I think, underneath here when it comes to the they got studs on the rear on either side of the you know, okay, and those are alignment studs for when you put the pan on. And I didn't have any trouble getting this pan in and out this time, so it's a squeak, but you can get it in and out. But anyway, these are I don't know, like 1/2" bolts on studs, and you align it when you put the pan in upside down like I'm laying. You line it on the back studs, and then you work forward, and those are 14-20. The optimum length, I think, is 3/4 inch. 1 inch is too long, but I've got 1/2 inch, so I ordered some of those online. And I got all of them in except one bolt won't tighten for some reason. So I'll have the 3/4 inch ones. I ordered those online. They'll be here on Saturday. And but anyway, it's kind of ingenious because from the back, this is on the passenger side, you got the stud and then 2 bolts, and then as you go forward, you get a place where you bolt up. There's a stud. There's a stud. If I could get this into focus, I hope I can. Come on, camera. In or out. Anyway, there's this. It holds the battery cable for the starter with a clamp and on the stud, and then there's a bolt that holds. There you go. On the stud, and then there's a clamp, a second clamp for the battery cable. This is the hot cable, a big cable going from the battery to the starter. And then as you go forward, you've got 2 studs. There's a bolt in the front that's bigger and 1/2 inch socket, and then there's the 2 studs, and the rear 2 has a clamp for the transmission lines. Now I need a 7/16 deep well socket to tighten up the flange nut on that stud, and I ordered one online. I can't find it, and it'll be here in a few days. But anyway, like I say, I like what the mechanical engineers did with this, but you got to take a lot of photographs so that you can remember that when you take this apart, it's significant how you put it back together. And get that clamp autofocus. So anyway, I'll take some pictures, and I'm going to do a slideshow as a separate video instead of doing it at the last of the, because, you know, trying to make it easier for the Astro van enthusiasts. And this is the driver's side. And the driver's side, you got the oil filter, and this van came from the factory with the external oil. So I ordered those lines and a new radiator, and that just bolts on there with the 2 T40 bolts. And then you got regular 4-20 SAE 3/4 inch long bolts all the way to the front, and then a big bolt in the front. And I don't remember the specs on that bolt, but it's also SAE, and it's a 1/2 inch socket. And I've spent half a day underneath this van today working, because I had to pull the pan again. Let's see, I had to pull the pan again because I couldn't get the front of it together. I couldn't get the timing chain cover on properly. So I pulled the oil pan today, and I reinstalled it properly. And now that I'm laying here, I'll probably do a little more. But anyway, people, thanks for watching. And this is for Astro van fans, Astro van aficionados, enthusiasts. And I'll try to take some good pictures under here to show the clamps and everything. If you take this, and of course if it was V8 it would be different, but anyway, thanks for watching. Okay, I'm trying to focus on the transmission clamp. This is like the 3rd bolt hole from the front. The first one is a bigger bolt with a 1/2 inch. Then you got 2 studs, and I can't remember what the second stud is for, but the transmission line is on the 3rd one back, and then you got the clamp for the, and I don't have the right bolt length. I could probably go tonight to O'Reilly and get the 1 inch. I probably should do that anyway, and then I can call that done. But since I got the front clamp in on the stud, I'll go ahead and install the starter next. And again, thanks for watching. I'm going to take some pictures first though before I install the starter. Try to get some good pictures. And Astro Van fans, in case you're wondering, yes, I did get the timing chain cover installed, and I'll work on getting the harmonic balancer installed. But you have to be careful when you install here is not to damage the crankshaft, and use the right install tool or a homebrew one. I see where a guy takes a threaded rod, the same threads as the crankshaft, and he takes a bearing and a socket and forces it on nicely without doing any damage or beating it on. Don't, you know, you got to be careful not to damage stuff when you put it together or you're gonna cry. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. This is the end of the video diary for today.